Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of HTV. I'm Scott Robbs, along with University of Hawaii's new defensive line coach, Ricky Longo. And Coach, first off, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
What made this job so appealing to you? What made you decide Hawaii's where I want to go?
Well, certainly got the weather here. That's year-round. But going against Hawaii and seeing the talent that's here, of course, Coach Rolovich and what he stands for, what he's trying to do here, really drew me here in regards to impacting some of the kids that we're working with. So besides the Paradise Island and our head football coach, I really saw something in the kids when we went against each other.
You're obviously Polynesian, and this is Polynesia. Was that also another draw to you to be around some folks that have the same roots as you do?
It is. I've had an opportunity to coach some Polynesian kids, but not the volume of Polynesian kids here. Of course, my heart always goes to them. Anytime you're in the mainland and you're coaching and you get to see them, but to come here on island and coach a volume of these guys, it's certainly something on the bucket list that I always wanted to do.
Now, I got to stop you because you have a southern accent. I mean, we could be right now somewhere in Georgia or South Carolina. How come you have a southern accent?
Well, my dad was in the military, so a lot of my high school days being in the South and the Southeast, that's who I grew up with a lot of people in the South. So I kind of picked up the accent, just like if you get a person coming on the island, learn how to talk pidgin.
Right.
So you can't beat them. I always say join them.
All right, let's talk about your defensive line, because one thing I've noticed already on social media is that you really have a bond with these kids. You take them out, you guys go out and have meals. You believe in a real brotherhood to get these guys to play for one another.
I do. I think it's important that breaking bread with your players, I think it's very important. Two, besides being their position coach, you know, we're in this profession to build men. They get to see me as a husband. They get to see me as a father to my two boys. You know, one of the things that we always preach, and the kids talk about family, but, you know, we want to live it here in Hawaii. And that's one of the things that Coach talks about, and live aloha, play warrior. And those are one of the traits that we want to abide by.
Scheme-wise, what's your philosophy? What are you comfortable with playing?
The good thing about the defense that we're running, you know, I came from a four-man front. Previously, we were a three-man front. But the good thing about being here, we get to do a lot of things multiple. Trying to get the best players out there on the football field and a lot in the package where we can get the best 11 to play defense for us.
Tell us a little bit about some of the guys on the team that we can keep an eye on. Maybe we'll see in the fall. Well,
we got a young man, a redshirt freshman young man that just got here in January, Ta'ala Blessman, strong, that does a good job in the middle, that's been showing some really good things. We got Epe as another 300-pound guy that's holding the middle, that's doing some things for us. I've seen Zeno Choi that played defensive end, and we were able to move him inside to give us some speed and some depth in there, that we have some injuries. But those three guys and have really showed in some things out there. Max Henry is another young man that hasn't had an opportunity to play, but showing some things out here in spring practice. And there's some other guys that's coming along. They're not there yet, but on top of my head, those are probably the four guys that are doing some pretty good things for us.
Okay, prior to coming to UH, you were at Colorado State. You're familiar with the Mountain West. And then all of a sudden it comes out that Hawaii is going to open up their season on the road in Fort Collins. What was that like when you heard that?
Shocking. I didn't know. I knew we were playing against each other. I didn't know it was going to be the first game. One, it's good for our kids. It's good for our program. They just finished building a beautiful stadium and the facilities that our kids will be able to play in. So I'm excited for that fact that our kids will be able to open up there at Colorado State. I think the environment's going to be good. That should bring a lot of excitement to the kids, especially going there from Island and playing them. There's going to be a great atmosphere. and I'm looking forward to our kids competing against them.
Well, Coach, best of luck through the rest of spring practice and heading into the fall. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining us for another edition here on HTV.